The head of the United Nations Development Agency has appealed for urgent aid to Pakistan as the country still reels from damages caused by last year's floods.
The estimate here is that $16 billion will be required in this initial phase to quickly help people, communities, and the country and the economy to invest in reconstruction and recovery. Until the conference is over, we never know what will be the level of pledges.
The administrator of United Nations Development Programme, Achim Steiner, termed the floods as a catastrophic event. He said that an estimated $16 million will be required in the initial phase to help people and communities affected by the disaster. Steiner described Pakistan as a victim of a world that is not acting fast enough on the challenge of climate change and carbon emissions. He emphasized urgent help to the Islamic Republic, or it will continue to remain locked in misery. The floods attributed to extreme rainfall and glacier melting caused damage estimated to be worth around $40 million. The World Bank has estimated that up to 9 million more people could be dragged into poverty as a result of the flooding. Pakistan's government aims to cover half the required amount with domestic resources, including through public-private partnerships, but is hoping the international community will cover the rest. Our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik is now joining us from Islamabad to talk more about this. Anas Malik, good to see you. Tell us more about this Geneva mood. Is the country optimistic of a positive outcome, or what are some of the reactions from Pakistanis?
Well, positive outcome or not, but certainly they are eager to get climate justice, Eric, and that is what the theme of this moot is, of climate resilient Pakistan, the International Conference on Climate Resilient Pakistan. $16.3 billion is the estimate of the post-disasters needs assessment, the PDNA, that has been put out. Pakistani government, as you said that as well, aims at fulfilling about 50% of the demand through its local resources, whereas the other 50% they expect to come through from the international community at a time when the international community is not really interested in this region. That is going to be a challenge. We're fairly looking at about 10 to 15% of the amount, the estimated amount being received today, or being pledged today rather. We're seeing that the Swiss president will be in participation in person in Geneva alongside the Pakistani Prime Minister and the UN Secretary General. The Qatari Foreign Minister will also be there in person, participating in person. The French President Emmanuel Macron, he will be there as well, but he will be participating live virtually. We've got recorded messages or messages of solidarity and perhaps pledges as well from the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the Norwegian Prime Minister as well, and other state dignitaries, the German State Secretary, the UK State Secretary, they're there. So Pakistani government aims at receiving or raising a handful of amount, enough to get it through at least immediately in the needs that immediately in what needs to be done for flood victims, because remember, Pakistan is bracing a harsh winter that's currently ongoing, and the misery becomes even much more miser for those in the flood affected areas, A, because they're far flung, and B, water still has not receded, and C, the harsh weather conditions are affecting the people over there. Eric?
Anas Malik, I'm just curious, and I know you've just mentioned this, the Shehbaz Sharif government is hopeful that the international community will bail out Pakistan from the aftermath of these devastating climate disasters. In reality, Has any country done something to that effect, considering the recent measures implemented to save money by Pakistan government?
Well, we've seen that aid has indeed come through, but that was right after the floods came in. The international community did get together, not in what Pakistan had, not under the circumstances what Pakistan had expected, but yes, they did get back together. We saw the US sending in aid, Turkey sending in aid, UAE sending in aid, Saudi Arab sending in aid, and of course China, Pakistan's all-weather ally, they sending in aid as well. But clearly, that was not enough. Pakistan is now moving from the rescue and relief process towards rehabilitation and reconstructions, and that is what in today's two sessions of this international conference on climate resilient Pakistan, that is what the focus would be on, the launch of 4 RFs. This is what the key focus is, and the PDNA, again I emphasize, the post disaster need assessment, that is a clear-cut framework policy document that Pakistan hopes that international community would adopt, would pay a heed to, and would, in light of that PDNA, they will step forward and help the country. Eric?
Our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, thank you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.